I heard my name behind me, but I was alone. It didn't stop at my name. The next night, it said something else, and this time, it wasn't coming from the ceiling. Daniel didn't sleep after that, not properly. He would lie there with his eyes closed, waiting for something that always came, just never the same way twice. Before, it had been precise. Always 2:13, always the same pattern, something he could almost understand. Now it didn't wait. The first time it changed, the clock said 1:58, a single tap, right above him. He opened his eyes immediately like he had been expecting it, but not yet. Not at that time. Then nothing, no pattern, no follow-up, just enough to let him know it was still there. The next time it came at 3:11, 2 taps, uneven, wrong, and then a dragging sound, slow, wet, inside the ceiling. Daniel sat up, staring at the concrete above him, his throat tight. "It's different." The words barely left his mouth, because it was. Before it had been repeating, learning, building something out of sound. Now it was choosing. The pattern was gone. Or maybe it wasn't gone. Just no longer simple enough for him to recognize. He stopped trying to predict it, and that's when it got closer. At first it still came from above. A tap. Then silence. Another tap, slightly to the left. He stood up slowly, not taking his eyes off the ceiling. Another tap, directly above him again. Then he took a step back. And the sound didn't follow. It didn't echo. It didn't delay. It appeared. Behind him. Daniel turned too fast, his breath catching in his chest. The wall was empty, flat, still, cold. He stood there for a long time, staring at it, waiting for something to move, to shift, to breathe. Nothing did. Then, a soft sound. Not from above, not from where he had been standing. From the wall itself. Closer. No. This time he said it out loud. Too quiet to matter, too late to matter. Because whatever it was, it had already adjusted. That was the night he stopped recording everything. At first he told himself it didn't matter, that he already had enough proof, enough audio, enough evidence that something was there. But that wasn't the real reason. The real reason came the next night, when he tried again, just once, just to be sure he wasn't imagining it. He placed the phone beside him, hit record, watched the timer start, and the moment it did, the sound changed. It didn't hesitate. It didn't search. It didn't build itself slowly like before. It arrived, clearer, closer, sharper, like it understood the microphone, like it understood what it meant to be heard. Daniel reached for the phone immediately. No, and turned it off, because in that moment he realized something that made his chest feel hollow. Every time he recorded it, it got better. Not louder, not faster, better, like it was improving, learning how to exist outside the walls. After that he stopped. No more recordings. No more proof. Just listening, just waiting. And the sound kept changing. It wasn't just tapping anymore. It wasn't just movement. Sometimes between the sounds, there were gaps that felt too full, like something was there, but not making noise, just holding space, watching, waiting for the right moment. The first time it said something else, he almost convinced himself it hadn't. It came between sounds, broken, incomplete. Dan. He froze, didn't breathe, didn't move. Then, stay. The word didn't sound constructed. It didn't sound like it was being built piece by piece. It sounded chosen, like it already knew what it wanted to say. Daniel stepped back slowly, his eyes still fixed on the ceiling. Another sound. Not above him, beside him, closer than before. "It's not just the ceiling." This time he whispered it, as if speaking normally would make it worse, as if it needed permission to get closer. But it didn't. It never had. That night he didn't sleep at all. He stayed sitting on the edge of the bed waiting for the next sound, the next word, the next mistake. Because that's what it felt like now, not random, not mechanical, a series of decisions, and he was part of them. The next night it didn't come from above, not once, no taps on the ceiling, no movement overhead, just silence. Long enough to feel wrong, long enough to make him think. Maybe it had stopped, maybe it was over. And then something shifted, not in the room, behind him, close enough that he could feel it. Not temperature, not air, just presence. Daniel didn't turn around, because if nothing was there, he didn't want to know. And if something was, he didn't want to see it. He stayed still, and for a second, the sound came from the ceiling again. A single tap, sharp, clear, and at the same time, another sound. Right behind him. Same rhythm, same presence, both at once. Impossible. His breathing stopped without him deciding to. His body understood something his mind refused to accept. And then, softly, clearer than it had ever been, right behind him, Daniel. He closed his eyes, because he understood something in that moment. It didn't need the ceiling anymore. It didn't need the walls. It didn't need to learn how to say his name. It already knew how. And now, it knew where to stand. It had been standing there for a while,